It's kind of unusual, but I got a call from the women's shelter about a woman who needed some help with her physical environment. And in the past, you know, we've done a lot of different projects with people. Some of them have been people, just like on the show, The Hoarding Show, we've had people that have had trash, hoarded all kinds of different things. But there is one thing that is absolutely sure, and that is people in this position, whatever the condition, if the condition of their home is in a bad condition, it's because of one reason, and that's pain. There's no one who wants to live like that. So when I got the call from the women's shelter about a woman, I said I'd be happy to go talk with her and set up an appointment. So I went to her home, and you know, on the outside it's a very nice home. Very young woman, about 33, and I walked up to the door, and in my mind I thought, you know, maybe she's collected a lot of stuff, needs to be cleaned up, organized, I don't know. So anyway, she opened the door, and she was so little and so frail. She had a cane, she has had some foot surgery, and she opened the door and invited me to come in, and as I walked in, I looked around and I realized that there were hundreds of birds flying free. And this had probably been going on for a couple years. So inwardly, I'm somewhat taken aback, but I just asked God to give me His eyes to see her pain, and understand what it is that she needs from us. Not deciding, but just understanding what she needs from us. And as she stood there, it was an emotional moment. She had tears in her eyes. And she said, I know this is a problem. And then she said, 2 years ago, she moved down here. She teaches special ed, and she started getting help counseling at the women's shelter. But she said, Catherine, I lived 30 years of sexual abuse. And I lived in a rural area, and all of my family knew, and no one helped me. And the only way I got that help was getting my education, becoming certified, and being able to get a job. And that's when I was able to move here. And I started getting help at the women's shelter and realized I have a lot to process. She said the abuse was unbelievable, and she actually told me some of the abuse. And my heart broke. So I've never witnessed such heartbreak in my life. And I realized that God brought us to this place, to her, because He trusted us. He trusted us with the most vulnerable, the people that are subject to the most judgment. And I said, Sabrina, we want to help you. We want to help you in the way that you need so that you feel free. Just like your birds, you too can be free. And we began that journey together. We got rid of a lot of things that she had inherited that represented pain. And in that process, I realized the reason those birds were free, they were very tiny, just like her, and they were free because they represented the desires of her heart, which was freedom from pain. So when we see with our own physical eyes the situation of people, we really will not be able to see where they are and what God's plan is for them until we take off our glasses of our own understanding and put on God's glasses so that we can see them for who they are and whose they are. So that we can be that mercy and embrace them with the grace that they desperately need. And that day was a day of joy and restoration and freedom for her. And she said, Catherine, in all of my life, I have never experienced love. I don't understand this. I don't understand what it would mean for you to come here and help me. I don't understand that. But I'm going to trust you and believe you. And I see it, even if I've never experienced it. I think that is God, and I've never had that before.